Hello, dear FISU Student Ambassadors. Hello, everyone. We're very happy to welcome you at the monthly educational session. And when speaking about this one, it was a very much requested one from the evaluation form after the FISU Student Ambassadors training. And before we start, I want to give a floor to the person who very much supports our program, the FISU Executive Committee member, Ms. Nomsa Mahlangu.
Thank you so much, Albania. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. We are a global organization, so it is different time zones for different participants. Good afternoon, good day, good evening once again to our FISU ambassadors, the future of university sport, and obviously the speakers today and the colleagues from FISU. It is a great honor and privilege for me to have this short conversation with you this afternoon. The FISU Ambassadors Program is a program that is much appreciated by university sport across the globe because it gives those opportunities that people like me didn't have as young students when we participated in sport. And I celebrate each one of you that you have made it this far. And this platform should not only be a platform that will enhance your CV. This is a platform where you as individual will grow, and it is also a possibility for networks of a lifetime. Make sure that you use these opportunities not only to grow your CV, because I know at some point you are going to be speaking about CVs and the like, but let it be a platform that transforms your energy into action. As young people, you are very much innovative, and we truly appreciate that. There are so many ideas that you have, and we welcome those ideas to ensure that we grow university sport once, but we also become an inclusive organization. Allow me to share just a little bit about my journey. I am currently employed at the University of Johannesburg as the Senior Director for Sport. However, my journey didn't start here. It started, I was just a student athlete who later on became a volunteer. And in this journey, I fell in love with the sport of football. I played football, and unfortunately, when I played as girls, we didn't have too many opportunities. However, I decided to focus in administration. And in my focus in administration, I got an opportunity to be elected in the then SASU. We referred to the organization as South African Student Sports Union. It was back in 1994. Now I'm giving my age away. And the journey didn't stop then. I became the first female to be elected in the South African Football Association Executive Committee back in 2009. And that gave me an opportunity to serve in the local organizing committee for the 2010 FIFA World Cup that was hosted in Africa. And that was the highlight of my career because one, I got an opportunity to do something that was never done in Africa. We hosted the World Cup, but it also gave me an opportunity to grow in the sports of football because through that, I got an opportunity to serve at CAF as a general coordinator, but to also serve at FIFA as a match commissioner. So in essence, I'm sharing this journey with all of you to realize that something that starts with little steps can actually change your career, because my career changed. When I went to university the first time around, I wasn't studying to be a sports administrator. I was actually studying to become a teacher. But through my involvement as a volunteer and obviously as a student representative in the executive committee in South Africa, I then got opportunities that changed my career totally, but also it gave me an opportunity to touch more lives. I know nothing except for sport and university. So in essence, this has given me an opportunity to touch lives, to change lives, but to also make an impact in the lives of young people, because sport is the one tool and the one language that everyone can understand. You have gone to a number of sporting events. You would find teams that speak different languages, but when they play sport, they understand the language of sport. So in essence, sport is that tool that can bring worlds together. And we truly appreciate FISU for this program. And each one of you take this opportunity with both hands, because opportunities don't come twice to the same person. And with those few words, thank you so much, Albinia, for including me in the session today. And I'm looking forward to the engagements. Thank you.
Thank you, Nomsa, for this speech and for these inspiring words for the young ambassadors and for sharing your path and for this personal approach. Thank you so much. And I really hope that most of the FISU student ambassadors will have a chance to meet you at some of the FISU events or any other events anywhere in the world. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I introduce the moderator of this session, Johanna from Sweden, the FISU student ambassador and the alumni who tried almost every role in the program, and she will share it later. And now she's running a very big part of the ambassadors program now with the LinkedIn page, and she was one of the inspirations of this session as well. Johanna, please, the floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Good morning, good day, good evening, or good night for some of you, I believe. First of all, thank you, Nomsa, for sharing such a warm welcome with everyone. And before we move into our speakers, I want to highlight a little bit why this session matters, not only for future professionals in sports, but for anyone preparing to enter a very competitive global job market. So I believe that all of us know that the sports sector is an extremely competitive environment. Many people dream of working in sports, and that means that we all need to learn how to stand out And since we're all students, we cannot do that by having decades of experience, but we can do it by knowing how to present ourselves, how do we show our experiences, how do we communicate our skills. So that is what this session will be about. This session is designed to help you strengthen some of the job application processes, how we present ourselves, and so on. Our speakers will share insights from both the international sports side, the academic side, from how organization like FISU recruits, and how you can prepare competitive scholarship applications, to how you can position yourself in your future opportunities. So with that, one practical note before we begin. Each speaker will leave after their part, so we will collect all questions during the presentations. So write in the chat when you have a question, and we will take them after the presentations. Yes, so we will have 3 speakers today, one from FISU HR, one from the Dream Together Master Program, and then it will end with myself as a speaker. So with that, it's my pleasure to introduce our first speaker, Rui Fernandez, FISU HR Manager. The floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Joanna. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everyone. I hope you are all fine. Can you hear me? All good? Yeah, excellent. Excellent. So I will start with preparing. Can I share my screen like this? Here you are. Okay. Boom. Let me just put this here. Okay. So everyone can see the screen? It's all good? Yep.
Yes.
So let's move on. So first of all, whoa. Okay. Here is the agenda. So who I am, first of all, of course, I will present myself a little bit. Introduction, sorry, why your CV matters. Understand what a recruiter sees. 5 ways to boost your CV. Digital presence, why digital presence is important. The conclusion, you have to be your own brand. And of course, at the end, questions and answers. So, who I am. So I'm Rui Fernandez, HR manager. I started in FISU in October 2023 as a HR coordinator. So I've been recently promoted. I'm HR professional since 2014. I worked in fields like health, private, international schools, as well as authorities, local authorities. So yeah, pretty much a lot of fields. I'm married. I'm married, yeah. 2 daughters, born in Portugal, but of course, I've did all my studies here in Switzerland. So yeah, I used to say that I'm more Swiss than Swissness. So this is all for me. So why your CV matters. First of all, I would like to give a little disclaimer. It's my experience is fully focused on Switzerland. So I didn't work in many countries, even if Europe or other, I would say, continents. So first of all, it's my experience in Switzerland. And the second one, what we are going to talk today is not a universal, I would say, truth. But it's a perspective of a topic that can be interpreted in many different ways. As for instance, the referees. So you can have a situation, and in 10 referees, the 10 maybe referees won't be, okay with the same situation, with the decisions. So, and we can do the parallel with the recruiters. Every recruiter has his own, I would say, perspective, opinion. So you have to keep in mind that it's not like all white or all black. Every recruiter has his own opinion and vision. But of course, I will show you some tips to improve your CV. First of all, the CV is not just a paper or a document with a list of trainings and a professional experience. It's above all a communication tool. It's very important. It represents you and your experience. Recruiters, we do what we can call screening or quick scan. Recruiters look for keywords, some words that they want to be appear in a CV. You have to know that, and on average, a recruiter spends between 7 and 10 seconds per CV, which is pretty fast. So imagine if I have, I don't know, 100 CVs, I will spend between 7 and 10 seconds per CV. So I will scan all the CV. I won't have the time to read all the pages. And when I say I can barely understand all the recruiters. The practical advice that I can give you is, can your CV tell your life in 10 seconds? That's very important. If not, maybe you should try to, update your CV and do the necessary that your CV can just tell your story in that time. And of course, we are living in an AI world, of course, with ChatGPT, etc. So some companies, I would say most of international companies, have artificial intelligence tools that can help recruiters. For my part, even if I receive 300 or 400 TVs, I like to check all of them because every CV, I would say that needs or has to be checked by human because it deserves, first of all. And I don't think that artificial intelligence has the sensitivity to check all the subtleties, I would say. So for me, it's very important. But of course, there are some recruiters that have artificial intelligence tools. So 5 ways to boost your CV. For my opinion, of course, it's not the universal truth, as I said before. Tailor your CV, of course, depending on the job you are applicationing. You need to adapt it. Change the words, change the wording, maybe the aspects, the keywords, of course. So yes, you have to adapt it for sure. Use action verbs and results. Strong words like led the project or participate, help. I mean, this is strong words that can be relevant for a recruiter. You have also to highlight transferable skills like teamwork, problem solving, communication, etc. Also, you have to add value with extra experience, volunteering. That's also something that, from my opinion, it's very important. Projects, online courses, some added values that you can show. Make it look professional. Most of the time, I recommend to do it in only one page, if possible, of course. I know that some senior profiles, it's hard to be only on one page, but if possible, only one page. A clear layout, of course, because it's always easier for a recruiter to check and to scan the keywords, and of course, consistent format. So this is some ways to improve your CVs. Why digital presence matters? Your LinkedIn page, or of course, I know that in some countries or continents they have also other professional platforms, but the professional pages are your online CV. Sometimes I noted that there is some incoherence between your CV, actual CV, And like LinkedIn profiles, there's some things that we found in one and we cannot read in others. So you have to be coherent between your CV and online profile. Also, something that is very important, creative and tech profiles. You should also mention that you have portfolios with, I don't know, websites, personal websites or projects. That's very important as well. And very, very important for me is, I think it's key because nowadays we see it a lot. Professional social medias are not Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, etc. Today, nowadays in LinkedIn, we can see that there are some funny videos that people like retweet, if we can say. And I think your image and behavior online can be seen and can cause a negative impact among recruiters. That's my personal opinion. I think that if you stay professional in professional social medias, you give a good opinion and a good image of you. Conclusion, be your own brand. So you must adapt, show impact, and stay authentic. The last point for me is very important. Do not try to make some things prettier than they are. Just stay authentic. Even when you go to the interview, for me, just stay authentic. Do not try to be someone else or try to be better than maybe you could try or be. Just stay as you are. That's very important. Your CV is your life story, of course. So make it worth reading. As I said earlier, with the format, try to be as clear as possible. That's also important. After this talk, you should try to take 30 minutes to review your CV regarding the tips and update it accordingly. Do not hesitate to ask some friends or some people from your family. Just, oh, what do you think about my CV? Or do you think that I can improve this or I can improve that? That's always some advices that can be good for the improvement of your CV. And of course, last but not least, I think that, of course, the main purpose of the CV is to convince recruiters, no doubt about it. But I think that above all, you must like it. I'm proud of my CV. I'm not proud of my CV. That's something that you should be proud of it, and you have to like it from my point of view. So, of course, so I finished. Do you have any questions? Of course, you can write them on the. Oh, I cannot. Why I cannot go out of this? If you have any questions, let me check the chat. If you have any questions, of course, I will do my best to reply.
Oh, perfect. I didn't saw the name, but someone from Spain raised their hand. Can they speak Albina? No, maybe it was a mistake. Okay, sorry.
Let me check about this one here.
Okay, no
So
problem,
no
Lucia.
questions. If no worries.
But-
Oh, maybe there is someone. It was a mistake. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, Albina, have a
What
question. What should not be in your CV?
So of course, thank you for your attention. First of all, what should not be in the CV? That's a good question. I think that in Switzerland we have the habit to add the hobbies. That's something that we like to do, like I don't know, swimming, football playing, etc. I think that we shouldn't put hobbies like video games. That's could be interpreted as childish, for instance. But I think that basically you can put everything in the CV as long as it's correctly written, I would say, in some way.
Okay, that's a good tip. I Or are there any questions in the chat? Otherwise, I have a question.
There is no vision. If you have questions, what do you think about the city designation? Should it be Europass template or templates? Oh, what I can do maybe is share you mine. I don't know if I have mine here. Let me check. Yep. Oh, this is an old one. Oh my God. Yeah. This is an old
good one.
But yeah, I can show you this one. No worries. Or I mean, it's in French. I know that I have the English version. Regarding the question, what was the question? Yeah, Europass template. Oh my gosh, I saw a lot of Europass templates, and it's so impersonate. That's my point of view. I mean, the CV is you basically, and Europass, it's for my point of view, it's too impersonate. So as we can see here, I just basically start from scratch, from a Word page scratch, and I just add my my personal information. I mean, I really advise you not to use Europass templates, please. Let me check. Boom, boom, boom. You read about designing in Canvas by Canvas. Yeah, as I said, if you have some talents for for design, why not going from scratch in a Word page? That's my best advice. Of course, there is some Canvas sites. I don't know. I don't know them, to be honest, because I used to go to from scratch. Maybe I can find. I did one to someone in my family last week. Oh, I did. Yeah, maybe it's here. I can show you. Yeah, this one. So this is an example. I went from scratch. I did some. This is my cousin, and he's electrician. So I add some stuff regarding the electrician field. And I think that's it. This is very creative. I'm not saying that I'm the best CV creator of the world, of course, but I think if you adapt it, as I said, and you put some creative ideas in your field, it's always better. Let me check. So that being a position, we change experience. What would it be an advice to have the best one and works for my situation? Sorry, Jacqueline, I don't know your situation, but I would be happy to help you maybe afterwards. You can write me. I can give you my professional email. Let's put it like this. Here you are. If you have questions, you can send me questions regarding your personal situation afterwards. I would be happy to help you as more I can. Boom, boom, boom. Let me check. Okay. Whoa. Sorry. Companies and they never get back to me. Oh, yeah, classic. What you have to understand in this case is imagine if you receive or I receive 300 CVs. Unfortunately, I wouldn't have the time to give a feedback, an individual feedback for everyone. What I can suggest you is to contact the HR and just ask why your application was not retained for the next steps. That's the best advice I can give you. What advice do you have for our generation, which sometimes remains inauthentic, not because of itself, but because of envy towards, for example, work and this thought success after success? Wow, very good question. Yeah, we're living in a world of we want everything as fast as possible, of course. But to be honest, I encourage you to be the most authentic as you can be, because you know, when some people, I had the situation in the past. I was working for Manpower. I don't know if you know, Manpower is a recruitment agency, and we have a guy that basically lied on his situation. And when we found out, we blacklist him in Switzerland because he lied on the CV, he lied on the experience, and it's we cannot trust. For me, the trust is broken as soon as you lie on this situation. But yeah, just be yourself, to be honest. And if a company wants to hire you, it's because of your talents and experience, not for someone that maybe could have more. I mean, they deserve you, not anything, not anyone else. Boom, boom, boom. Are we allowed to put on picture on CV? Yeah, I suggest you to do so. Depending on the countries, once again, I know that in Switzerland it's a good point to put the picture on the CV. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jacqueline. No worries. Do your achievement in your CV have a level of impact when it comes to the spaces you have networked in? Definitely. Yeah, definitely. Oh, I see that there are some some questions. Yeah. When your CV says when you are applying for a position, I don't know, I would say medical field, if you have medical experience in the past, of course it has a great impact for sure, for sure. What would you suggest using Canva or some templates to write our CV? Thank you so much. Thank you, Chen Wen. Yeah, as I said, as long as you have pleasure to have your CV or you like it. I mean, as I said, there is no universal truth about your CV. As long as you like it, I mean, it's you. Once again, your CV is you. Thank you, Diana. Thank you for my yeah. Thank you about the promotion. No pictures in UK. Yes, pictures on CV in Germany. Yeah, yeah. I mean, as I said earlier, it's very depending on the culture, on the country. Here in Switzerland, yeah, definitely picture on the CV. It's a good point. Well,
Great.
I don't know if there is any more questions. As I said, there is my my professional address email. If you have any question afterwards, for sure you can send me, and I will do my best to reply you.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you very much, Rui Fernandez.
My pleasure.
We're
Thank you for
very
attention,
happy,
everyone. And
we will have
I
great
hope you-
CVs.
Yeah, sorry.
We will have great CVs from now on, everyone.
Oh, I will have a lot of work then. But
Thank you
yeah, I
very
wish
much.
you everyone all the best in your future endeavors, and yeah, I hope you will have my advices in a positive way. Oh, what is recommended? Oh, what is the recommended CV length for international applications? Is one page CV always necessary? You know, I once I received a CV of 14 pages. 14. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have time. I mean, it's nearly a book, so it's always difficult to find, you know, keywords, etc. In your case, Philippe, my advice is maximum 2 pages if you can. Maximum 2 pages. Yeah.
One last pro tip. Thank you very much, Rui.
My pleasure. Once again, I hope you all the best, and do not hesitate to contact me.
Thank you very much.
Hey, bye-bye. See you, everyone. It was a
Bye.
pleasure.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, amazing friends. We thank once again Rui for being with us, and we are moving on. But before we're moving on to the next speaker, I just want to highlight that in the end of this session, we will have a smaller activity, and it will be done like this. So 7 people who are willing to volunteer will do an elevator pitch for themselves to apply for a job. And we have Laura, one of the recruiters of this program, and she will ask some questions and act interviewer on this shorter elevator pitch. So from now on, everyone, listen very carefully to all tips given in both Rui's speech, but also the 2 upcoming ones. So bear in mind that if you want to volunteer for the elevator pitch at the end, listen carefully and think a little bit of some of the questions that will be posted in the chat. But now we will move on to a speaker whose journey many of you already know, and one that truly reflects what's possible within FISU. I will give a very short introduction. Adebayo Olatunde was invited not only because of his fantastic path in the FISU Student Ambassador program representing Nigeria, but also for managing a volunteer team of over 1,000 people at national events and contributing as a member of both the education and student committees of FISU. But last but not least, he's also the recent recipient of the prestigious Dream Together Master Scholarship. Adebayo, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Joanna. That was a nice intro. Hope everyone can hear me. So without further much ado, I'll be sharing my screen very quickly. Sec. All right. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, great. So I'll be sharing a scholarship application guide for the Dream Together Masters program, which is a scholarship I got this year. But I also like you all to know that this is a guide that you can use for other programs, not necessarily for the Dream Together Masters, because this particular program is only for countries, the ODA countries. I will give my explanation as I go into my slide. So let's look at the agenda. So first, I'll be talking about the application timeline for the DTM program. I'll talk about the document gathering, your essays and CV, the interview preparation, and of course, essential tips that you might need for your application. But what am I? I don't think I should go through all of this again because Joanna already did a good job. But basically, I was my country's first ambassador, student ambassador for FISU. I started in 2020, so I was just like you guys, joining webinars, listening to speakers, and taking their tips and applying them to my life or my career. So I did that for 3 years. I was also team leader at a point from 2021 to 2023. And then I became a volunteer manager for my NUSF and for my CUSF, where I manage volunteers. And then I applied to join the student committee, which I got in. And then from there, I joined the education committee. And finally, I became a recipient of the DTM program. So it's a pretty long journey, a very interesting one. And I'm really grateful for it. So the first thing I want to say regarding the application is that you need to start early. So the good thing about my experience is that I experienced not getting the scholarship and I experienced getting the scholarship. So I have enough experience from both sides to tell you what you shouldn't do and what you should do. So one of the pitfalls that I made in my first application, I think that was 2024, was that I didn't start early. All right, so it really affected my pace and I couldn't finish my documentation in time. So, but the official application window for DTM is from February through April. So the next edition is going to open up next year. Next year, April could be first or second week of February. and then it will run through April. It's a pretty tight time frame, and there's a lot of things happening all at once. But like I said earlier, it's only applicable for ODA countries, which is official development assistant countries. If you want to check the list, you can find it online. It's publicly available. You can check if your country is accepted for this sort of program, or if they're under the ODA list. So, but if your country is under the ODA list, there are a couple of things that you need to get ready. You need to have your essays ready. You need to fill the application form. You need recommendation letters. You need an apostilled version of your certificate or academic transcript. And there are also two phases for your document submission. There's the online submission and the physical submission through a courier service. Like it's a lot of things, trust me. And then our advice that you start in November, and that's why we're having this presentation now, so that you can get ready. You can start drafting your essays. The good thing about the program is there's been a consistency in the kind of questions that they ask. So the question they've been asking for your essays has been consistent over the past 5 years or even more. So you can go online, go to the FISU website, just search for DTM program. You see the list of documents, you see the guide and everything that you might need. So you can start preparing right now. Like I advise you, you definitely need to start early. You also need to put in mind who you want to get your recommendation letters from. I recommend that you get them from one professional and one academic, like very crucial. We also need to start gathering the official documents. The list of those documents are also in the guide, which you can find on FISU's website. And then, but the critical advice is you really need to start right now. If you intend on applying or if you are graduating by December, you definitely need to start working on that now. Now, for the document gathering process, like I said, you have two sections, the online submission and the physical submission. For the online submission, you need to submit your documents to their mail. But if you are applying through FISU, like I did, there's also a different deadline for it. Like always keep an eye out for information. And the great thing about the FISU Students Ambassador program is a lot of information. Always keep an eye out for this information and ensure that you submit it before the deadline. So for the online submission, you have to submit your essays, your personal statement, you have to submit your transcript and certificates, language proficiency documents, recommendation letters. You need to do all of this. Now, when you have gone through the online submission and your documents are accurate, you then get a mail from the university because the DTM program is done at Seoul National University in Korea. So you then get an information to send all of your documents through a courier services to Korea. All right. But if you don't go through the online submission first, you will not be invited to submit your document time. All right. So it's important for you to, do your work as soon as possible and to gather your documents in time. For me, my first trial, I couldn't submit my documents in time and I couldn't get it. So you really have to be careful about your preparation time. Now for the essay and recommendation letters. Now this is very important, like really important. And the reason why your essay is important is because your story matters. Like your story is probably what separates you from any other candidates. I mean, it's a scholarship, so definitely you'll be competing against hundreds or perhaps even thousands of applicants. All right, so sometimes they receive 100, sometimes 1,000 application every year. So, but what distinguishes you from every other person is your story. But also, your story doesn't start when the application opens. Your story starts before the application opens. And I need to emphasize this very greatly. So for me, like my story with FISU started in 2020. Every single action, every single responsibility, every single activity, they all sum up to make who I am today. And all of that was included in my CV, included in, my essays and all of that. So your story doesn't start when they tell you, oh, it's time to submit your application. No, it starts with, what you do as an ambassador. It starts with what you do as a team leader or a team member. All of those things together is what sums you up as a credible candidate. So you have to start working now. Some of you probably might not apply next year. It might be in 2 years' time or 3 years' time. But trust me, your story starts now. So I need you to be as active as possible to ensure that you are a very credible candidate when you eventually apply, either for DTM or any other scholarship program. Also, it is what you do now that determines the kind of recommendation you get. All right. So people I met to write my recommendation letter, they were willing to write it, they were happy to write it. So that's why I said your story doesn't start now. So I advise that you write as open as possible, as vulnerable as, because sometimes it takes a really compelling story to give you that scholarship. So for me, I remember some of my essays, like I had to like spill out, some of my vulnerable moments, some of my difficult moments, it's because I wanted a scholarship. But yeah, very important. So your story does matter, right? I need you to, take that as important as possible. You can also start drafting the essays. Like I said, the questions have been consistent and you can find them on FISU's website. Now, the next step is your transcript, your certificate, and perhaps your language requirement, because the program is taught in English. So we need to be able to know that you can communicate and you can understand the classes. But one major pitfall is what is called the apostille version of your certificate or transcript. Now, the university or DTM, they don't accept just your certificate or your transcript. They need to ensure that it's verified by their embassy or consulate in your country. Now, this process is probably what will give you the most headache. That's why I said it's important to start early. So if you are intending on applying next year, I would advise you to start working on getting your document posted by the Korean embassy. Like, it is very crucial. You can read up online all of the steps, all of the requirements to get it approved by the Korean embassy. This is something you need to do quickly. This is what took most of my time on both of my applications. Like, it always takes a lot of time. So I advise, if you want to apply, you need to do this quickly. So you also need a language proficiency document. If you are taught in English, all you need is a document from your university certifying that you are taught in English. And if you're not, you need to write English exam like TOEFL or any other internationally accepted exam for English language. Now about your essays, about telling your story with impact. Like, your essays, like I said earlier, is a crucial differentiator in the selection process, because they talk about your identity, they talk about your leadership potential, and they also talk about your academic interest. So I already talked about your identity, but also your leadership potential is something that is really crucial for the DTM program, because they also want leaders. But also about your academic interest. What are the research areas or topics that you are interested in? This is very crucial. You need to start thinking about this if you intend to apply. In your writing, you have to be clear and reflective. You need to show concrete examples from your experience, because like I said, these stories are what separate you from others. You need to show your impacts. What have you done? How has it been able to impact your community? You need to connect your past to your future, so demonstrate how your experiences has prepared you for advanced study and future sport leadership. Very crucial. Also, your CV. This is very, very important. And I'm glad that we had a CV session before now. For the DTM program, they emphasize your sport experience. It could be your sport administration experience. It could be your athlete experience. It could be your sport volunteer experience. As long as it's sport related, you have to emphasize it. You remember that when it comes to CVs, one CV is not, how do I explain this? Like, when you're submitting a particular CV for a particular position, the resume you send or the CV you send for a position is not the same you send for a different position, because there are different things you need to highlight. So I remember when I was preparing my CV for this, I had to take a lot of my tech experience, because what was needed was my sport experience. So you have to be very careful. It has to be well formatted, it has to be professional, it has to be sport centered. All right. But also, another very vital tool you should know is that the DTM program, they prefer candidates that have either athletic experience, either you're an athlete for your country, or you are a sport administrator, either past or present. So if you look at because if you check on the DTM website, there you can see the list of people that have been accepted across 5 years. Usually they pick people that have experience, like they take pride in the caliber of people that are accepted. So, and that is why, like I said, you need to start working now to ensure that you are a credible candidate whenever you want to apply. So your athletic experience is important. Your role in your federation is important. Also, even if you are a volunteer in your federation, it's important to have a documentation that proves that you worked for your federation in a particular capacity, because this document is also required by DTM to prove that what you put on your CV is not a lie. So if you're a volunteer, whatever it is you are, always ensure that you have an official document that proves that you work for your federation. This is very, very important. Then for the interview stage, this is after you've been through with your physical submission. Now, after the physical submission, there's a short list, and then they invite you for an interview. Now, to prepare for your interview, you need to review your CV, because a lot of the questions from your CV, a lot of questions for the interview comes from your CV and also from your essay. So you need to be sure that you have all of your facts correct. You remember all of the things you've written. This is very crucial. Now, your interview is usually done via Zoom. So you need to be familiar with Zoom or any other video interactive platform. Very crucial. Some of the questions that you'll be asked, I remember for myself, I was asked to introduce myself. Now, when they ask you to introduce yourself, it's important to talk about, you mention your name, of course, and then you talk about some of the work you've done. All right, like do a proper introduction. Do not be too humble, don't hide certain information. Whatever you need to say that makes you seem like a standard candidate, you need to say it. You need to be confident. All right, and then they talk about your CV, talk about where you've worked, and then they also ask a question about your future or your vision post the DTM program. This is very crucial. Also, the interview panel are quite friendly. They are generally interested in your success, so you don't have to be extremely nervous like I was during my own interview, because I was nervous. Trust me, I was really nervous. But over time, it became a very funny session, and I calmed down. So you need to be very prepared. The final checklist. All right. So one, you need to read the application guide thoroughly, like multiple times. There is a guide that's always sent every year. So please, you need to read it as much as possible. If you don't understand anything, feel free to use AI to understand them. Also, when writing your essays, our advice that you write it by yourself and not with AI. Like, you need to tell your stories yourself. You can always ask AI to help you refine it, all right? But you have to write the essays yourself. You need to follow every instruction exactly as written, because if you do not, you probably might not get the scholarship. You need to submit the document before the deadline. This is very important. You need to keep the digital and physical copy of everything. You also need to monitor your mails, because they are always sending mails, always. So what is the success formula? Early preparation, compelling storytelling, clear sport-related achievements, and confidence and authenticity in your interview. Now, with proper preparation, this process is entirely manageable, because it's a lot. Trust me, it's a lot. But the Dream Together Masters program, it definitely transforms sport leaders into globally minded change agents. Your journey begins with a well-prepared application. You have what it takes. Start today. So what I would just say to like wrap up this advice is, this is not necessarily only for DTM. Like I said, you can use this for any other scholarship. And the great thing about FISU is, we're always looking for opportunities for our ambassadors. So please keep your eyes open. So the final thing I'll show you is my life in Korea as a DTM student. On my left, you can see me with my professor. This was after a module. It was a very nice presentation. Here in the middle, I went to a park somewhere in Korea. And then, and the third picture with a lot of padlocks, I went to the Namsam Tower, where a lot of people put logs on their love life. I hope it works for them. But basically, this is my life in Korea. So studying, working, having presentation, assignments, it's a whole lot. But it's a very interesting journey. So that is my presentation. I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have questions, please kindly ask.
Thank you very much, Bio. Amazing presentation. We received one question from Diana. which goes, congratulations once again, and I'm always proud of you. Do I need a background in sports in my undergraduate for DTM scholarship?
No, you do not. You do not. I have classmates that did business administration, some in engineering, like it's a whole lot, some in physiotherapy. So the most important thing is at least you have a sport experience. Either you worked, for instance, FISU Student Ambassador, you definitely qualify because of your work for FISU or for your National University Sport Federation. So it doesn't matter what you study in university, that doesn't count. It doesn't count at all, trust me. Most of my classmates didn't study sport at all. I think we're probably just two that study sports. The rest of us either came from engineering but worked for a federation or they're athletes, so it doesn't matter. You have nothing to worry about.
Great. We are a little bit behind our time schedule, but let's go for one more question. It's Samin that asks, oh no, my screen moved a lot. It's Samin that asks, what about IELTS certificates? I don't know what it is,
Yeah,
but maybe
so
you do, Bio.
yeah, it's also like one of the exam you might take. So if your education was not in English, you also have to write either the IELTS or the TOEFL. There's a particular score you need to get. All of that is in the application guide. I didn't have to write those because I was taught in English. So I don't know the official score. But if you check on FISU's website, you definitely will find the application guide and you can check the score. So you can do that in advance. Also, because I know there might be other
Great.
questions, you probably might just add me up on LinkedIn or find me on Instagram. I can answer you personally.
Amazing. And please, Adebayo, write your LinkedIn or something so they can ask you if that is okay.
Okay,
And
all right.
thank you for all the
I'll do
amazing
that.
questions. And thank you for the presentation, Adebayo. Very inspiring and warm as
You're welcome.
always. Okay, moving on. Don't forget that in the end we're gonna do this little activity where some of you are gonna have to present yourselves in an elevator pitch together with our recruiter, Laura. And before that, I'm gonna do a quick presentation on the LinkedIn, and we'll see if Albina can fix my presentation due to some technical issues for myself.
Or just give me 1 minute, okay?
Yes. Now everyone can take a sip of water, raise from their chair, turn around, everything. So then we're back to listening again in 30 seconds. Or everyone can add Adebayo on LinkedIn.
I was trying to add my name, but I just can't put it in the chat. But it's basically my name, Adeba Latunde. It's the same also on Instagram, so it works.
Great. Okay, so you will see it in the invitation for this meeting maybe, or otherwise you will find it in the presentation that will be sent to all of you afterwards. And there comes the presentation. Perfect. Is everyone back on their chairs and things? I hope you are. Okay, so I'm going to be the last presenter of today, and I will call it Your Profile is how you present yourself on LinkedIn. Shortly about me, I have been a FISU Student Ambassador representing Sweden 23, 24, 25, and was a team leader my last season as well. I was a part of the Springboard Mentorship Program, and after that, I have been working as a head of delegation for the Swedish delegation, and have been to the past two winter and summer games. And beside of that, I work with sports journalism and are a pitch and media coordinator in my football club, and also work as a mechanical engineer on besides of that. And that makes it complex on LinkedIn when you are when you're having such a dual career. Another slide, Albina, please. So what is LinkedIn? I know that maybe not all of you are on LinkedIn, so I will give you a short introduction. LinkedIn is the world's largest professional networking site, and I see it, or I use it because of 4 reasons. LinkedIn is a part of the personal branding, which Rui talked a little bit about. Everything I post also puts me into different things. So when I post that I'm speaking at the conference, they see that I'm a speaker. When I post pictures of my team, they see I'm a team player. So personal branding is one thing. Make connections, connect with others is another thing. Make professional updates and find opportunities. These are like the 4 pieces I see of LinkedIn. And next, Albina. So just a quick overview on how LinkedIn looks in my computer. To the left, you have your profile and the pages. And at the upper part of the screen, we have network, jobs, messages, and notifications. And down to the right, you can see that you have messages. So this is how it's built. You have the feed and you have like all those classic things, network, jobs, messages. But the thing is that LinkedIn is professional in a way that maybe TikTok and Instagram isn't. The next slide, Albina. So why is LinkedIn important? Sport is a very competitive field. I'm sure that all of you know of that. And LinkedIn is our possibility to stand out without having years of experience. So just a short agenda. I will go through how you can build your profile on LinkedIn. I will go through the importance of posting, how we keep it professionals, and I will end with some do's and don'ts. And then, of course, some questions. Okay, so building your profile. Your profile consists of a profile photo and a banner. It's very important to have those 2 things because I think that the banner gives you like 10 times higher reach if you have it, and the profile photo gives you 2 times higher reach. So it is important to have it. You also have a headliner, as you can see. I have my name, and just below it, the headliner goes. And a tip for the headliner definitely is use keywords, roles, and aspirations. I'm not so good at using aspirations, as you can see, but a good thing for reach for people to find you is to have a lot of things in your headliner and use these kind of brackets to split your headliner. And new for this year, one thing that comes with the new LinkedIn page is that you can, just as Jacob has made on the lower picture, you can add that you are a part of the FISU Student Ambassador program. I haven't, very bad of me, but but Jacob has. So use that. It's super. And next one, Albina. Okay, so keeping on focusing on our profiles. We have the picture, we have the banner, and we have the headliner. Next comes the about section. And the about section, the number 1 tip that goes all over internet is make it a story. Some tips is write in first person, explain who you are, what drives you, what you do now, your ambitions, and always use keywords for algorithms. So this is a super important part as well. And as you see in the bottom, even if it is in Swedish, you can add skills as well. And next one, Albina. And next up comes the featured and your activity part. This is also super important because this shows everything that you are engaged in. It shows your posts, it shows everything that you comment on, everything that you like and share. And that is something a lot of people miss, and that we talked about as well. Be aware that everything you comment on LinkedIn is also shown on your profile. I'm not sure if there is a way to change it, but be aware that you will be linked with everything that you comment on LinkedIn. But this is how a featured and activity side can look. And moving on. After the activity and feature section on our profile comes the experience section. And a pro tip there is link your experience to companies, federations, and clubs to get better reach on your profile. You can see my 4 past experience. When the little logo turns up, you have linked your experience to a club or a company or a federation. So I have, for example, linked my board membership in my football club to my football club, and the FISU Student Ambassador to FISU, and all those things. And those are experience are as Rui said, a huge part of our CV. Rui talked about that they sometimes found discrepancies between the LinkedIn and the CV. So please add everything that you have on your CV into your LinkedIn. I'm not the best example of that, but after Rui speak, I definitely will be better at adding things here. So this is where everyone can see what you have been working with. The square with the bad example is a really bad example because it doesn't have the logos. It's in Swedish because all my other of my LinkedIn is in English. So link it to the company that you are working for, and I'm 100% sure the company will be very happy for that as well. And moving on, Albina. So this is how my profile looks, everything added up together. And this is what you need to create a LinkedIn or a good LinkedIn profile. You don't have to do everything at once, but we need to start building it by adding small things once at a time. So your profile is a super important part. As Rui said, this is your CV on the internet, and make sure to do it as good as Rui mentioned that you need to make your CV. So this is how we look online. The next one, Albina. So moving on to the importance of posting on LinkedIn. You can have a profile on LinkedIn, but if we doesn't interact with other posts, or if we doesn't post, then we don't exist. Your post makes you visible to the world. Share your journey, achievements, and insights, and people will notice effort and passion. Posting builds your professional story over time, and it was very fun that that Rui actually mentioned that a single post can change everything. He said that it was Nomsa who said that a single thing can change everything, and this is the same thing. A single post can make you reach someone that you didn't expect it to. So posting is super important. And moving on, Albina. So this is a very long text slide, but types of posts that performs very well are, I think you all can guess these, but it's event photos, lessons learned, behind the scenes from volunteering or big events, takeaways from conferences, commenting on trends in sports, announcing achievements in kind of a humble way, sharing opportunities for others, and just some tips on how to post. Post 1 to 2 times a week, keep it personal, real, and professional. Tag organizations that you are a part of. It could be FISU, it can be your national federation. tag people who are involved, and use a small amount of hashtags. Hashtags still is a very big part of LinkedIn, even if it has moved on other things. Some examples of what you can share. I share career milestones, personal branding in the sense that I share my aspects of a quick course on what it means to be a woman in sport that gives or that adds to my personal branding. I post event reflections, and I post about my daily work. So this is how it could look, just a couple of examples. And next one, Albina. And if you are unsure on what to post, check your friends, colleagues, role models, and others' posts to get an understanding of what the climate on LinkedIn is. It isn't harder than that. Watch others and be inspired. But something super important that Rui also talked about is keep it professional. And the way I mark this in a square and with this big red sign, and I will actually read it as well. The way you present yourself on LinkedIn communicates who you are before anyone meets you in person. Every post, comment, shared update contributes to your reputation and can either open doors but also close them. By staying professional, you build trust and credibility in your network. So we need to be very aware that what you post on LinkedIn and do on LinkedIn very much affects our future every second, every time. So how to use LinkedIn smart and how to more precisely post smart. Think quality over quantity, use relevant topics only, add value to everything you post, insights, reflections. Don't post too much. Some people say a maximum around 3 times per week, and I believe that is a good benchmark. And every time you go into LinkedIn, put on your LinkedIn head and think that this is LinkedIn. Now I need to be aware of what I'm doing. I will end this with some do's and don'ts, but I will start with the don'ts so you remember the do's. The don'ts, be aware to have profile photo, banner, and an about section. Don't use a one headline word like student. Don't overshare personal life or unrelated content. Don't post achievements without storytelling. Don't ask for jobs in DMs in an inappropriate way. And don't treat LinkedIn like Instagram. That was also something that Rui mentioned. Be very aware that LinkedIn and Instagram isn't the same thing. And moving on to the do's, Albina. Okay, so now do's comes. That's the important part. The don'ts is just a reminder, and the do's is what we need to do. So put in a lot of effort to create an outstanding professional profile page that will help you in every single job you apply for. Post meaningful, relevant content. Share achievements, reflections, lessons learned. Tag people and organizations appropriately. Use photos or short videos to increase engagement. Connect with people you meet in real life and ask them to connect on LinkedIn. And be professional and stay true to yourself and your values. And now, the most important part. Next slide, Albina. Thank you for listening, and don't forget to follow the new FSA page. It's in the QR code down as well. And the more people we are there, the more reach this program will get in the professional world, which is super important. So thank you very much for listening. Are there any questions? What if the company is not a part of LinkedIn? Is there a way to make the company banners and its page by yourself? I would say if the company isn't on LinkedIn, as you saw on mine, then the logo doesn't pop up itself. But you can write a very good on your own. The only thing is that the logo won't be there, but that isn't the problem itself. Just make sure to write the info very like detailed, and then everyone will see what they need to see, even if the organization isn't on LinkedIn. So that won't be a problem if you write it very detailed yourself. Okay, amazing. Now we have learned a little bit of everything. We have learned how to develop our CV, how to write absolutely amazing scholarship applications, and how to use LinkedIn. Laura, are you in the chat? Or in the chat? Are you in the
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, amazing. Welcome, Laura.
Hello, how are you, everyone?
We're good. So my friends, Albina just posted in the chat some positions to apply for, and does anyone want to volunteer to make one of these elevator pitches, which Laura will listen to and ask some questions and all those things. So I will just go through everything again. You will apply to one of these positions, and you will be doing an elevator pitch of a minute to Laura, and Laura, who is very good at those kinds of recruitment processes, will ask some questions and give some comments as well. And all of the rest of us will be listening. And if we feel comfortable about it, write some feedback, write something the person are doing very well, or write something that they can improve. And I saw a hand raised, right? It was Philip Uganda, or did I make that up? We need volunteers. Everyone will be super nice, I promise. Oh, Salmon, amazing. Albina, Salmon is volunteering. The ones volunteering the first are always the most amazing people, because they are like, they throw themselves out. Okay, amazing. We'll start with Salmon. Have you found her, Albina? Are you with us, Salmon?
I made Salmon presenter. Salmon, you can step in and unmute yourself and put on your camera. And then I saw Thank God from Nigeria as the second person. And let me explain why Lara is here as an expert, because she was trained as a recruiter to make the recruitment campaign of the FISU Student Ambassadors program for this year, together with Anne from Uganda. So she has all the experience and knowledge for that. So she will comment on your speech, and I made you as Samin, and then I will be making the others as presenters, so you can mute yourself.
Oh, Samin, I can see Samin now. Amazing. Welcome, Samin. Unmute yourself. Hi. Oh, amazing. We can hear you. You have 1 minute to present yourself, just who you are, and choose whatever you want to present. Okay, the floor is yours, Salmon.
Okay, I'm Salmon from Iran, graduated from sports management degree, and I should say that I'm 27, just in early times. And I'm soccer coach, also futsal coach. Recently, I had mini football coaching certificate, and it's international certificate. Then I should say that it's about 2 years that I'm in FISU. First of all, I was as FISU ambassador. Then now I'm as a FISU team leader, also ambassador.
Amazing. Thank you very much. Laura, the floor is yours.
So Salman, thank you for introducing yourself. Would you please tell us which role you are applying for based off of the 7 options that Albina gave in the chat?
I think the last one is better.
Okay, so tell me, what are your qualifications or skills that allow you to apply to this role and actually receive it?
As a sociable person, I think that being sociable, being good team worker are the most important parts for being in this situation. Then as I have a sport experience, like being coach or being referee, it can be a good point for applying this situation. After that, I think the most important one is my it's like my life's continuing, being in this position, helping others, being active.
And what's one memorable thing that you would be able to give if you're in this role?
If I be in this role, I will work like that. I just want to help others. I just want to introduce sport universities in all over the world as I can, as much I can.
Thank you so much, Samin. Your interview has been great. The way you presented yourself is excellent. You obviously have the skills and experience necessary to be an ambassador, and obviously you also have the feeling to be able to contribute and give to others to university sport. So thank you for your presentation.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you both, Laura and Samin. Next up is thank God from Nigeria, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome, and you can start your elevator pitch.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. My name is Tengo Chibike Namoko, and I've served as a 2-time sport director of my university and currently serving as the FISU ambassador for Nigeria. I've gone through several leadership trainings in sport, as well as leadership roles as well in my university. I would love to apply for the role of the Federal Continental Federation Ambassador. And for me, I'd love to add up to
Take the floor, Laura. I think we're ended.
I'm not sure. I couldn't hear him very well.
But maybe we can feedback on before it crashed. I would. No, it crashed. But Laura, feel free to give some feedback for the first from the first second, and hope that he can hear us.
So the fact that he mentioned that he's an athlete is basically introducing himself and as his role in sport. So I think that was very amazing. And I think I heard him say that he would be applying for the ambassador in the continental position as well. So having this FISU ambassador background for his country, as well as being an athlete, I think that contributes very well to being responsible for the ambassador of your continent. And then, unfortunately, we didn't hear the rest of his pitch.
But we got the good start of it.
We got the good start.
Thank you very much. Yes. And it's time for, Philip from Uganda, maybe?
Yes. Philip, please tell us which role you will apply for before you begin.
So unmute yourself, tell us the role, and then start your elevator pitch.
Hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Good day to everyone. I'm Philip Nwagaba, currently serving as a FISU Student Ambassador to FISU. So I'm serving as an ambassador on a continental level for my continent, that is Africa. I'm currently a national swimmer and passionate about sports. I also serve as a competition secretary at my university swim club. And if I was to apply, I would apply for the post of athletic support at the FISU Games, during the FISU Games.
Please tell us why you would like to apply for this role and what expertise you have to do the best that you can in this position.
Well, being passionate about sport, I feel like I can do best. I've had the experience. That is since 2022. I've been dealing with different sportsmen and women. That is like give an example of the 3-on-3 basketball championships. I've been volunteering in several events, the FISU Mind Games, the FISU World University Games that took place this year in Germany. Yeah, I'll be participating, and I think it's not just about the athletic support. It's something that requires it to have the love and the passion, so you can deal with the athletics issues, problems. You need to understand. You need to be very tolerant, and I think I can be in position to handle that.
Thank you. Amazing. I love that you mentioned your previous experience, which is always so important in deciding. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, so I was saying thank you so much for presenting, and thank you so much for providing previous experience, which allows us to understand your expertise in this role. As well as being an athlete, you do understand the problems that athletes go through, and you can support them from your own experiences. So thank you so much, Philip, for your presentation, for your pitch.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, Philip.
You're most welcome.
Good job.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is Vladimir. Are you with us? Are you with us? Or are you
I'm here.
to
Hi.
be highlighted? Hi. Okay, we'll wait and see if we can get. Oh, there you are on the screen. Thank you very much. So please highlight which role you are applying for, and then start your elevator pitch. The floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm interested in the second one, volunteer at skiing venue at FISU Games for winter. So a little bit about myself. I'm an alpine snowboarder for more than 10 years, so I'm very deeply connected to the winter sports sector. And for the past years, I have worked at different venues as arena crew members or slope crew members in ski and snowboarding events. And right now I'm starting volunteering a lot at the FIS World Cups as a part of event offices in freestyle and alpine skiing competitions. So I see myself as a possible contributor to the FISU Games Winter Edition.
Thank you, Philip, for that presentation. You obviously have a lot of experience, not only in sports, but in winter sports in specific. And being an alpine snowboarder yourself, this is kind of your field. So what about winter sports is super exciting to you? Why would you love to contribute to this event?
Well, that's the field of my passion, and I'm started an athlete career in winter sports, and then I have seen the FISU World Winter Games in 2019 in my home city Krasnoyarsk, and that's then the spark starts as a part of the organizing processes, and I became really eager to explore the sport industry. And I see that by taking these steps, I can achieve great positions and change the future of the sport as well with such an exploration and involvement.
I totally agree with you, and I think passion is a very important part to contribute to any sort of role. So this role in specific really matches your passions and your future thinking of what you want to do in your life. So I applaud you for your presentation. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Lara. Thanks, Johanna.
Thank you very much. And next up, and unfortunately the last person, due to some time limits, is Stanley. Oh, there you go. And what I can see, you are applying for event operations assistant. Please correct me if that's not the case. And can you unmute yourself? And Lee, can you unmute yourself? We'll give him a few seconds. Okay, maybe we should change if Stanley have a couple of problems with the technical parts. Okay, maybe we will wrap it up there. Laura, thank you very much for your time and for your great comments to everyone. I hope that all of you have learned a lot of things today. We are young and we are in a tough environment of sports. So I hope that this session has been very helpful for all of you, including myself and including FISU headquarters as well, I believe. Albina, do you have something to add?
Thank you so much, Johanna, for the session, for being the great moderator. Thank you, Virginie, for all the guidance before the preparations and for all the technical part. On the other, we don't see you all the time, but you do everything here. And thank you so much for attending. There were many people today, and many of you will be watching the recording afterwards as we share the recording and the speakers' presentations. But it's not the last webinar of this month. Tomorrow morning, we will have a webinar on dual career. We have also shared the link to register, and we will do it once again tonight. And we will also share it just before the event tomorrow, because it's a very interesting topic, very useful one. And we will see many of you tomorrow. And after that, we have the December session, which will be earlier because of the holiday season. So I'm waiting you at the individual action plan presentations, and have a great day or evening or night. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Thank you very much, everyone.